Welcome to the Magic Hour Talk Show, episode 14?
14,
right?
I believe.
14. We've done 14 of these. Man, how you been doing?
Man, just, hanging in there, being essential, like I told you before.
I haven't seen you in a while. I know you've been stressed out at your job.
Yeah, man, life is just, everybody gets to a point. It's all good, just working, family life. But glad to be here right now. Glad to...
Is there a new influx of patients at the hospital?
Well, South Carolina is seeing a bit of an increase in cases. You open things back up at the risk of getting political, which we try to avoid at all costs.
Yeah.
Decisions are being made that are way above our head, and for what reasons we don't know.
No, we know what reasons. We have certain people in a certain party who are afraid that the economy doesn't rebound, that they're not going to win the next election.
Well, for whatever reason, it's opened back up.
There's still enough people taking this seriously that businesses still aren't doing well. For one thing, AMC's talking about, what do you think about this news with AMC talking about? They're talking about closing down. Basically, they've lost $2.4 billion in the first quarter.
Yep, and there's going to be. We knew. The original reason we did this channel was movie reviews.
Mm-hmm.
And so when that happened and they closed the theaters down, that's how they make their money. So that's a big company. AMC is a big company.
I told you in another show, I will not go to a theater.
No, why would you,
man? You're just asking for...
You're going to go lock yourself in a box for 2 hours with other people of the community, especially when the community is having a surge in cases? No, we won't be reviewing any movies anytime soon, that's for sure.
Remember when Trolls World Tour came out? They released it on digital.
Right.
Instead of doing it in the theaters, and the people at AMC got mad and said they would never show a Universal movie again. They don't look like y'all are going to show anything ever again.
Well, I don't know, man. I think they're going to attempt to reopen here soon. AMC is.
They're going to release.
I think it's in July.
Well, they're going to release Tenet in the theaters. Now they've even pushed that back to late July.
Yeah, and I think one of the first ones that's going to be shown is Mulan's live action is one of the first ones. Black Widow. I guess all the other companies are going to wait to see how these do, and then they'll probably follow suit. But we won't be reviewing them because you and I aren't going to go to the theater.
They're releasing Greyhound. Or something, I think that's the name, that Tom Hanks movie. They're going to release that on Apple's, what is it called? Apple
Plus.
Apple Plus.
Yeah, everybody's Disney Plus, Apple Plus.
Yeah, it's
ESPN Plus.
I love Apple, but it's like, and I got like 4 Apple TVs too. But it's like, I haven't even looked at that arcade thing that they put out, and, I haven't even bothered with Apple Plus. I don't really even look at Disney Plus that much, even though we're really big on Disney on this channel. But it's like everything they have on there is stuff I think the only thing I've watched recently, I watched Endgame. But I have Endgame already on my computer.
Right.
It was a little bit better quality, but it was like, I just watched it because I was kind of bored. I was like, let me just see how it looks on Disney Plus. And then, like I said, it looked a little bit better, but it's like they don't have any shows that they had that Clone Wars, which I never watched, and it just ended. So it's like until Mandalorian season 2 comes out, there's really nothing to watch on there for me.
Yeah, I watched Disney Plus when it first released. And I watched it a lot, but I'm like you. I haven't been back on there in a while. Because
They need some shows.
Usually I go to Netflix or
Netflix hasn't even
Prime.
Netflix hasn't been putting out many, not much, you know.
No, I think what I've been spending a lot of time doing on Netflix is going back and watching old movies. Like I watched Silence of the Lambs just recently. I watched that stupid movie Starship Troopers. Yeah. It's stuff like that. That's what I've been spending my time doing. But I haven't really gone in there and spent much time.
It's kind of sad. I watch more YouTube than anything, than Netflix or Prime. I don't ever watch Prime either. The only reason I don't get rid of it is because it just comes with the damn membership.
Well, Prime has my HBO, so that's when I go to watch HBO stuff. That's where I have to go through Prime.
What has HBO put out recently, though? The only thing I'm interested in HBO now that Game of Thrones is gone is that Snyder cut.
Well, I've been watching mainly movies on HBO, not series.
See, I got so many movies that I have on iTunes and stuff that I've downloaded. Yeah, I really shouldn't even be paying for any of these streaming services. I just do because, well, I don't know.
I know sometimes you got to go through and clean up your subscription services.
Yeah, it's getting depressing about. I don't know. I just getting.
Well,
it's getting weird out here. Really, what we should be talking about is the PS5, though.
Absolutely, man. Some good news.
Let's talk about our disappointments, though. Were you disappointed with anything from the presentation?
I mean, not really.
You weren't disappointed with Grand Theft Auto?
With the fact that it's not
Grand Theft Auto 6. It's freaking... Look, Grand Theft Auto 5 got released on the freaking PS3.
Yep.
So they released this thing, expanded and enhanced. What does that even mean? So they released it on PlayStation 3 first, and then they released a kind of upgraded version on PlayStation 4.
PS4.
And now they're going to release this enhanced version, I guess. Expanded and enhanced, whatever that means. I want freaking Grand Theft Auto 6 because reportedly they're working on it, and it's supposed to happen. It's supposed to be like a remake of Vice City. So
it's like 2024, isn't it? Like,
is it?
That's my understanding. Is that it's going to be pushed way back.
Dude, I was really bummed out by that because I saw that Grand Theft Auto when they started. I think that's the first thing they showed. I saw that Grand Theft Auto symbol and I was like, yeah. And then it was like they were showing.
Yeah, there were a couple.
San Andreas. I was like, why are they showing San Andreas? So. Yeah,
that game is so huge, man. They put themselves into a bit of a quandary because they did so good on 5.
Is it because of the online content though?
That's partially it. That was one of the first games to do, like, to have such an elaborate online presence, you know. And then Red Dead followed in their footsteps and that type of stuff. But I think Grand Theft Auto kind of led the way in the online becoming, Call of Duty did it, but I think Grand Theft Auto 5 was far more successful with their online content. But like I was saying, GTA 5 was such a huge game and broke so many barriers. It was such a huge world and so interactive that if you come out with a 6 and it's not a considerable step up, then you're going to have a fan base that's completely disappointed. So they're going to wait and put it out. I'm a huge fan of the Last of Us franchise. And
yeah, that's what you're looking forward to.
I'm so looking forward to on the 19th of June. But they did that, man. It took forever for them to release the second one and finish it. because the first one was so good. It was so good. And it was another one that was, the original was released on PS3. Then they did an enhanced for PS4. And it's still making them money. You know, they're still selling the game.
Well, some reviews have been coming out for it, and then I've seen some good reviews and I've seen some bad reviews about it. They said it doesn't have, the focus isn't there like the first movie, our first game, which I didn't play. So I'm gonna either way.
I'm gonna wait until it's other than just these critics that are making the decision for everybody. You know, you got a handful of people that are getting access to it and playing it with their pretentious attitudes and ideas of games. And, you know, when the general public gets their hands on it and the general public speaks, that's when you truly know the worth of a game, not by a bunch of critics. So I've seen some gameplay. I believe in the team that built this game. I know they've done other games that have done very well. They do Red Dead Redemption. And I think it's going to be awesome.
What'd you think about how it looked?
The PS5?
Yeah, the PS5.
Looks like a Wi-Fi router.
You know, I realized something though. As much as people are dogging it, you can lay it on the side. Who is going to stand it up like this?
I'm not. I don't have the room on
I know
where it sits.
I got this big screen television, and I got this little
rectangle cube.
That it sits on. There's no way I can stand that up unless I take out. I could actually if I take out one of the shelves. But why would I do it like that?
No, if it'll lay down, I'm going to lay it down. And I will. Let's just clear this up. I will be getting one.
And look, it has for this reason alone, the fact that you can lay it horizontally makes it better than the Xbox, because the Xbox you can only put it one way, right? You can't lay that thing on the side.
Dude, it's a cube.
It's a cube.
Doesn't matter which way you turn it, it's still going to be the same.
So, a lot of people are making fun of it, but look, it's...
Okay, so one of the complaints I heard about it is like, oh, there's no way it's going to cool properly. I've had a PS4 Pro that's built basically in the same, configuration.
I've never had overheating problems.
I've never had any overheating problems.
Yeah,
and I've played it. I've let it run. I've left it running for 30 days straight, and it's never overheated.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Which version are you going to get? Are you going to get the digital version or the disc version?
I'm going to get the disc version because I believe it's backwards compatible. Am I right on that? You're going to be able to play your PS4.
I don't know about that.
And I have a library of disc games that I can't fit them all. I can't fit them all on the hard drive. There's just you can't do it. So I
have one disc game from PS4. Everything else I've done digitally.
Well, maybe
I don't even know why I got that one on disc. I guess when I was at Walmart buying the PS4 Pro, I was like, I need to get a game. I got Injustice 2. And I wish I had bought that digitally because I don't like putting that disc. I don't even play it anymore, but I hate putting that disc in. It's like I will go all digital.
And not only that, but I have a DVD collection at home.
Yeah,
I've been collecting them for years. If I want to play a DVD, in there, I need the CD-ROM.
Well, I don't have a DVD collection. Everything, all the movies I have are digital. So it's like I'm kind of glad they finally did this. So I'm
that may make more sense for you, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely getting the digital version.
And it'll probably be a bit cheaper because it's less hardware.
What did you think about all the games? I thought some of these games.
But no, wait. Before we move on,
okay,
we have to discuss the controller.
All right,
that controller. And I don't care what anybody says. That right there was to appease all those Xbox fans that said, I don't like the PS3 or PS4 controller. I like the Xbox controller.
Isn't it about the same though?
Well, it's got the shape of an Xbox controller, overall shape of an Xbox controller,
Oh, it does?
with
I
the
didn't
toggle
notice that.
switch. If you look it up online, Xbox
I
controllers.
got one over there. Let me.
Yeah, that's the PlayStation controller.
So let me see that. Let me hand me that. Let me examine that.
And then pull up a picture of an Xbox controller.
Where's right here? Or Xbox?
Yeah, an Xbox controller. You'll see it really quick when you see this. See what I mean? Look at that white one right there. Look at the white one. Now can you put it next to the new PlayStation controller?
PS5 controller. Here we go.
There you go, my friends.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know. Well, it don't look that much different from this.
But look how much it looks like the Xbox controller.
What's better about that though?
Well, you see on the PlayStation controller, one of its unique features is those two thumb pads that are, they're they're placed in the same spot. If you look on the Xbox, you have one of your thumb controllers up high. It's kind of hidden.
Yeah, but they didn't change that.
No, they couldn't. I mean, they had to make it a PlayStation controller.
So
but
you're basically just talking about the shape.
I'm saying the shape, the hand feel.
The shapes aren't.
It's the hand feel, man.
Maybe
it's
it won't be obvious till
I'm just
I actually get it in my hand.
I think that a lot of this was done in the design. I'm sorry. A lot of this design that was done on the PlayStation 5 controller was to try and bridge that gap between the Xbox players who says that's one reason they don't like the PlayStation.
Okay, I got you.
So, of course, that's my opinion. But if you look at between that PS4 and Xbox controller, that's a big difference. And then if you look at the PS5 and the Xbox controller, they've gone closer to what the Xbox controller's shape is. And hand feel, how it feels in your hands.
Okay. That's interesting.
Just thought I'd throw that little tidbit in there.
Okay then, but I guess I started getting a little bit excited when they showed the Spider-Man game, the Miles Morales.
Man, that looks so good.
There's a controversy about this though. I guess the controversy is whether it's a standalone game or not, because one of these PlayStation executives, Simon Rutter, he said, I guess you could call it an expansion and an enhancement to the previous game. So that threw everybody. They're like, what? Is it a standalone game or not? Or it's just I guess a lot of people think it's just like an expansion. I think we'll know. What they did say was it's going to be smaller than the last Spider-Man game. So that tells me right there that it's kind of maybe more of an expansion than a standalone.
Right.
It really going to come down to the price, because remember they did an expansion for what was that game? Uncharted, Lost Legacy.
Yeah.
And it came out, it was like $40 or something instead of $60. So, and it had different characters, side characters. So I think they're going to do something along that line. So, but they did come out and say it is going to be a standalone game. The graphics are obviously PlayStation 5 graphics. I mean, there's nothing on that last game that looked that good.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
That rate.
Maybe that's how they're classifying it as a standalone game, because it will be only for the PS5, you know?
Yeah. So
It looks great.
that excited me because I was like, wow. You don't see a lot of games with black protagonists. I mean, it's kind of present that the only one we have is pretty much like Grand Theft Auto. A game with criminals. So now, I mean, he was in the last game though, but he was like he was a side character. So I'm encouraged by this.
That's great. That's great.
I think there was a couple games that they had black protagonists in. There was another game. I can't remember the name of the other one.
This is another one. If this is what I think it is.
This is the thing that threw me. All the games, most of the games I played and bought on the PlayStation, they're making sequels for. Horizon Zero Dawn, Spider-Man, Ratchet and Clank. I played that, and I finished none of those games.
I know. I'm with you on that.
So it's like now I feel like I got to go back and finish all those games. Really, the one I really want to finish was Spider-Man. So I think I'm definitely going to go back and play that. But Horizon Zero Dawn, that game is so huge.
Unbelievable. But it was a fantastic game.
Yeah.
A beautiful,
and Ratchet
beautiful
and Clank,
game.
I got stuck on one boss I couldn't beat, and I was just like, screw this, and I moved on. But that game was decent. Yeah, that just kind of hit me in the gut. I was like, all those games I didn't finish are the ones they got sequels for. And the one game I did finish, Grand Theft Auto 5, I'm getting an enhanced version. I was really kind of disappointed with that. But
Yeah, see, Horizon.
You going to watch the trailer on this?
Absolutely, let's do
Watch
that.
the trailer on this.
The old ones perished 1,000 years ago. Their great cities turned to graves. In their place came new life.
You hate the.
And new dangers. I must find a way to stop it. Or it will get worse and worse. Until it destroys us all. There's nothing I wouldn't do to save this world. No depth I won't explore. No secret I won't unlock. No barrier I won't cross. This mission is mine alone. If I falter, if I fail, there won't be anyone left to stop what's coming.
PlayStation.
Well, I think they're doing very well with their exclusives because with Xbox, they obviously had Halo and Gears of War, two sci-fi exclusive. Now, I feel like PlayStation has matched those. Horizon Zero Dawn is actually, a very unique type of science fiction oriented,
post-apocalyptic.
Yeah. But it's holding its own with stuff like Halo and Gears of War. And then Spider-Man, of course, is a great exclusive. And then you got Uncharted and what else?
The Last of Us is exclusive.
The Last of Us. Yeah. So.
Yeah, man.
And they bought Insomniac, which was making these Spider-Man games. So they got an advantage there.
Yeah, I wonder what else does Insomniac make? Because
They make the Ratchet and Clank.
They make the Ratchet and Clank.
Oh yeah, they got Ratchet and Clank as exclusive. That's another sci-fi thing.
Crash Bandicoot, don't they? I think that's Insomniac.
I'm not sure. But yeah, so I was excited about some of the exclusive. I kind of wish they showed something about God of War 2. Because we know Thor is going to be in that one. I fell for this April 1st.
Dude, as good as the first God of War, well, not the first, but the PS4 version of God of War, as good as that looked and played, again, we go back to this thing is, you can't release the next version and it suck after you did so good on the first one. Yeah. That's why we're having to wait on GTA 6. That's why we waited so long on The Last of Us 2. So God of War, that's one that I'll be getting early access as possible.
Another game I didn't finish.
Yeah, I don't finish these either, man. But
Did you finish God of War?
No, I didn't. But you know what I end up doing, and I'm telling on myself here. What I'll end up doing is I'll get frustrated or run out of time to make it through the game. Yeah. So I'll just go on YouTube and watch somebody else play it to the end. Because I want to see how it ends.
That's the thing. I watched the walkthrough for that. I skipped ahead a lot, though. But, yeah, I saw the ending and all that. Because we did a review on that, which I later deleted because it was...
It's so bad.
It was before I had my lighting and stuff done right.
Hey, we are a work in progress.
Yeah, we were definitely a work in progress back then. But
it's exciting news, though, man. I'm excited about PS5. What is it? Holiday this season is coming out.
Yeah.
So like November is when you'll be able to get it. Do you think? Or I know they haven't released a date yet, but
it's coming, man. It's coming a lot quicker than I thought it was gonna get.
Man, it doesn't feel like I've had my PS4 Pro that long, Yeah. But see, that's what's going to happen with the PS5 is I want the Pro version now. I want the faster speeds, more memory. I want the bigger hard drive. But we're not going to get that for 2 more years because they're gonna milk everything they can out of these first 2 versions before they'll release the Pro.
Yeah.
So, but I'll get the new one. I'll be in line. And as I'm sure a lot of other people will be as well.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people who doubted whether they were going to get this version because, the Xbox was edging it just a little bit in the specs. I think they were reassured by this. Even though, like I said, my complaints notwithstanding, I still want one. And I'm encouraged by what I see.
Well, you're not going to change the mind of Xbox fans that, their little mini fridge is going to... that You know, they call the PS5 a Wi-Fi router,
Yeah.
and they call the Xbox a mini fridge.
It actually looks like something I think if Apple put out a console, it would probably look like this.
The cheese grater.
No, just the fact that they use, what Apple loves white. They like making stuff white.
Oh, you're saying that Apple would put out one that looked like the PS5?
Yes.
Okay.
If they put out a console, they do actually have a console now. They just basically retrofitted the Apple TVs as consoles. But if they actually made a console,
it would look more like the PlayStation.
Yeah, I think
because it is sexier than the Xbox. You cannot argue that.
Oh, it looks like something from the future. Definitely.
It is from the future.
Yeah, it is.
November. I was supposed to go whitewater rafting in a week.
Oh, yeah.
It got canceled.
Yeah, I remember that.
I tried to get you to
You
go.
were trying to get me to go. I think I did. I said yes, didn't I?
I thought you did say yes.
I definitely wasn't going to go.
You know what? I still have the campsite. I haven't canceled the campsite.
Oh.
But that is not the camping you're interested in, because that one's going to be tent camping on the side of a river.
I'm not gonna. We were talking about camping before we started the show. I was like, I don't. And most black people, I think, feel this way. We don't. There's nothing attractive to me about laying on the ground outside, sleeping, and taking dump in the woods. It's just that doesn't appeal.
You just
to me
haven't
in
done
any
it.
way.
You just haven't done it enough.
Oh my God! I just don't see that as being attractive.
Comment below if you like camping.
Okay, man, we really don't. I thought we had more subjects to talk about, but that's mainly the bulk of what I want to talk about, the PS5 stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
it was really just a bunch of trailers, right? And the new reveal of what it looked like.
And as we get closer to the launch, we'll hear about more games. And, I think Sony's point right now was to say, hey, this is our new console, and this is the exclusive games that we're releasing for it.
Yeah.
Not games that are being made for both,
Don't you think some of the other trailers were really weird? Some of the games I think they made for the Japanese audience.
Yes.
I thought was a little bit more weird.
Yes, I do.
There was one called Chromata or something like that.
Cro-Magnum?
I should have had these queued up and ready.
That's not it.
That's not it? Wait a minute. Okay. PS5. There's a Resident Evil thing. What you talking about?
Pragmata. That's probably...
Pragmata, okay. Where did I get that name from?
Okay, I'm so confused.
Did you see this one?
I don't remember this one.
What is that?
Freedom. Our freedom.
So is she a robot?
I don't know what the hell's happening in this trailer, man.
I'm so confused right now.
It looks pretty good though, but I have no idea what is this about.
What was that game that came out not long ago with the dude from
Death Stranding?
Yes.
That's what it gives me the kind of vibe it gives
Yes,
me.
because that game is so freaking weird, man. And it's got dude from Walking Dead.
Yeah, did you see this scroll?
Norman Reedus.
How about this one? The scroll. Everybody has a computer or something.
I've heard of that studio, that Annapurna.
No. Okay, here we go. This one was weird too.
I think you're playing as the cat.
I don't know what's, but they're like, for every home run they hit, they had something like this, and you're like, huh? What?
Yeah.
They had a bunch of trailers
Independent
like this,
studios.
and you're just like, huh? What?
New generation of gaming equals walking cat.
I mean, they got me with the cat thing. I like cats.
I do too.
I got a lot. I got 3 cats. So that didn't just, but still, it's still weird. Everybody was a freaking computer with a monitor as a head. What?
And it was like old, like 16-bit monitors too.
Yeah,
you know, it was
right. So I don't know. I think about half of those trailers that they showed were for the Japanese audience, because I guarantee you the people in Japan are like, oh yes, because you know they love cats in Japan. They have this whole. I saw this video on YouTube.
Yeah, every time you go into a Japanese restaurant, they got the one that's like.
No, but they have a whole island in Japan with cats, dedicated to cats, because the people left the island and they left the cats there. And there's a few people still left on this island. It's called Cat Island, and there's just a bunch of cats. And like,
look it up on here.
People actually go and
you can just like
people actually go
kind of like those cat cafes. Except
people actually go as tourists to this freaking island.
We were headed to an island labeled Aoshima on the map, but it's better known by its nickname, Cat Island.
Oh.
You can actually see the cats coming down to meet the boat here as we
approach. Here, cats outnumber humans more than 10 to 1. This tiny fishing village once had a population of 800 people. But the sardine fisheries depleted, jobs moved to cities, and human residents left the island. Now there are just 16 people here, and more than 160 cats. It's an adjustment for visiting reporters. Misato Kamioka is not exactly the official historian, but she's lived here for nearly 40 years.
How did this become an island of cats?
There used to be a lot of mice and not many cats, she remembered. Some cats were let loose, others were abandoned. And the rest, as they say, is history.
I suspect you've got your mice population under control now.
No mice problem, she said. There's a sort of predictable rhythm on Cat Island. A neighborly dispute or two, some eating, some sleeping, and some more eating. The big moment of the day is when the tourist boat shows up. It's 45 minutes of bliss for all involved. We asked school lunch lady Hitomi Goto why the Japanese love cats so much. Cats do as they please, but we can't do that, she said, referring to her regimented life. Cats go where they want and snooze when they feel like it. So leaving my work to see them is very relaxing.
This was another cat island.
We were shown pictures of other cat islands.
So you've been to 3 cat islands and you've been to 2 cat islands?
Yep, there are about 10 across the country. In Japan, cats are featured on TV shows, and of course, this is the land where Hello Kitty was born. We'd heard about another must-see stop for the cat-crazed in Japan, and we went to meet the cat station master. Tama II and predecessor Tama are credited with saving this rail station with a cat-like look in rural western Japan. Ridership had shrunk and the train line was in the red until a railway boss, quote, looked into the eyes of a cat at a local concession stand and decided to make it the station master. It's an honorary title. The only work involved is looking cute and attracting tourists, but it's worked. Back on Cat Island, these felines have left their mark. On the jetty, it's not beer cans, but cans of tuna scattered about. Even the humans can be seen sneaking a cat nap. We'd met Ruji Hidaka on the ferry. He'd come alone, but then connected with a fellow cat lover. He told us this was paradise and said he'd like to return.
It's not enough to just see it once?
No, it's not enough, he replied. I would like to live here. I smiled and tried to withhold judgment. This place is not everyone's definition of paradise. As the afternoon ferry pulled out, people waved to the cats, though it seemed a rather one-sided goodbye. Japan has a rabbit island too, but we'll save that for another story.
Yeah.
Pussy Island.
I dated a Taiwanese girl. She loved that damn Hello Kitty shit, though. It was annoying.
Yeah, you know, like I said, you know when you go to the Japanese places and they all have that cat that does this?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's got something to do with that train master.
It probably does. I don't know. Yeah, they love cats over there, man. So it didn't surprise me.
We get that, don't we? We get that.
Yeah, well, but it didn't surprise me to see that 2 of those games had cats in them. Featured very prominently.
Yeah, that was like an Easter egg
for the Japanese.
Yeah,
audience.
that's an Easter egg, just like, you know, ode to the Japanese pop culture stuff.
Last thing I want to discuss was the Disneyland reopening on July the 17th. Now you just did a top 5 on people who want to go to Disney World and tips for them.
I mean, the same tips apply to Disneyland. It applies to any trips to any of the parks, you know, because you're going to run into the same.
They're going to have to limit how many people are in the park. Everybody's going to have to wear a mask. I mean, how do you feel about that? You think it's worth going there when you're having to wear a mask the whole time?
Dude, I wear a mask at work every day, so
It says and you were we were talking about this before the show. You were talking about the nighttime shows, right? It says the parades and nighttime shows will not occur during the July reopening and will return at a later date.
I wouldn't go right now. No.
Character meet and greets will also be on hold. Also, although the park promises the characters will be in the parks and new ways to entertain and delight guests. That just doesn't seem very appealing to me, especially if you got kids.
Especially for the cost.
And would you want to risk your kids?
See, the people that are going to first flock back to Disney World, Disneyland, are going to be the local annual pass holders, that don't have to spend the money that people that just go every once in a while do.
Putting a squash on the pass. Look, it says Disneyland Resort will manage attendance through a new theme park reservation system that will require all guests, including annual pass holders, to obtain a reservation for a park entry in advance.
And if you've been there, you know that getting into that park is line after line after line after line.
And it says the park has been put on a temporary pause on new ticket sales and annual passport sales and renewals. So this sounds like a lot of restrictions.
Well, hey, they've got a huge backlog of people who got their trips canceled. Mm-hmm. Over the last few months that they've been closed. They've got to take care of those people first.
They've lost billions too.
Oh man, a company that. But let's talk about billions in Disney. That's nothing to them.
I don't know.
It might be somebody's position, but the Disney's not going to shut down because the park's closed.
No.
Let's be honest. They've made up that revenue on Disney Plus subscriptions because people were stuck at home.
Right, that's true.
So, is there really a threat of something happening to the Disney parks over long term, them shutting down? No. That's not going to happen. The problem is going to be is that Caroline and I, my wife, are planning a trip in February to go. Mm-hmm. I wonder if we're going to be able to get tickets for it in February because they're going to still be playing catch up, trying to catch up with all the people and, doing a staged reopening over time.
Yep.
The amount of people that go through those parks annually is just mind-boggling. And so I just wonder if, it's going to be a year or so before they are back to normal operations.
Well, I'm all for getting back to normal, man, but we got to get a vaccine first. I'm telling you.
It's right around the corner. I think it's right around the corner.
I haven't been back to work. I don't even know if I want to return to work, man. I'm still trying to.
We have to return to work. That's the thing.
Eventually we do, but I'm just like, how? Oh man, I'm trying to just think of some ways. I don't know. I've been trying to think of something, anything. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm just so unsure. I'm so worried.
Well, we live in uncertain times, man.
Well, that's all I pretty much got today. You got anything else?
No, man.
You want to talk about? Not much to talk about.
Not much more than the big things that we talked about.
And you didn't want to do a review on King of Staten Island.
Yeah, well.
You don't like, what's that kid's name?
I don't even remember specifically.
Yeah.
It did have Bill Burr in it.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to see it.
It did have Bill Burr, and I like him a lot. And so...
he was on Joe Rogan's show like yesterday.
And he was talking about the King of Staten Island on there. But I don't know. It's based on that guy. What is his name? King of Staten Island.
Pete, isn't his name Pete Davidson or something? You talking about the actor?
Yes.
I think his name's
Pete Davidson. It's
Yeah.
based on his real. It's based on real life. I think his dad.
Oh, really?
His dad died in the World Trade Center.
Oh, did he?
Or an uncle or somebody close to him died. He was a firefighter who died in the World Trade Center.
Oh, okay.
And so after I read that, I was a little more intrigued on, the story, but by then we had already decided that we weren't going to do it. And now it's too late.
Yeah.
It's already come out. But that's all I got, man. We're just going to keep producing great content, and a lot of it will have something to do with Disney.
I'm going to make an appeal to our audience. If you have any kind of idea of something we should do on this channel, because really, I've been getting desperate. I even started reviewing YouTube videos, that What to Watch show. If you're kind of interested in the YouTube shows, I like to watch. You watch that, but I've been thinking of doing some more of those with more specific focus, like maybe doing one on the best gaming channels or something like that.
Like break them down into categories.
Yeah, and just doing a whole show on that. But I don't know. It's getting desperate. I'm really, we've been releasing a lot of clips and stuff. They usually do well, but I want to get back to doing reviews and stuff. So if you got any ideas about what we can do, let us know in the comments.
And if you're still around at this point in the video, you're a real fan.
Yeah, we'd like to thank you for sticking with us, all you subscribers, and hit that bell so you know when another video drops. But that's all I got. And
That's it for me, guys. We'll see you on the next video.
we will see you when we see you. Thanks for watching.